and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of For the Most Part podcast. I think it is fair to say it is what Carnival weekend, as they say.
Carnival Saturday.
Carnival Saturday. Some of us not jumping up with the bands.
I have no bands to jump up with.
Yeah. Pan is our thing this weekend. But all the best of the bands in the competition is a performance. I don't know if there's any prize with that. Mm-hmm. Either way, we're gonna be talking about copyright. Now, I need to introduce my guests. We have Mr. Adriel Sherwood in the building.
All right, guys.
He's our resident DJ. If all you don't know who he is, I think you all need to go on the website and read his bio. Additionally, drop some comments, ask some questions, in the background. He's been doing he's been on the carnival scene, party promoter, party planner, and DJing on the trucks, in the fete, everything. Adriel is in everything. Right? And on the Zoom, we have Mr. Jehiah Hope, music educator, bass player, guitar player, flute. Is the recorder to Jehiah?
What flautist? No, we don't touch recorders.
We don't touch recorders, okay?
Yeah.
Jehiah is a producer and by extension an engineer as well, and has had some experience in terms of understanding the foundations of and the aspect and most importantly the aspects of music business, right? So copyright. Now let's just set some definitions, right? So in order to understand what copyright is, you have to understand what works mean and the types of works that are available. That could mean video, audio, written. What else it have? Anything along those lines, right?
Basically, anything that is created.
Right.
In a sense, yeah.
Right? And in order to understand copyright by extension, is you have to understand how you need to operate within the business in order to protect your work, or at least protect it to the best of your ability. Right? So, Jehiah, my question to you, just to start off, what would be some ways that you think that people could register and or protect their work? We all know about like poor man's copyright and that kind of thing, but
yeah, I was actually going to mention that and say get that one out to the way one time. Yeah. Generally, registering your work with the particular board that is in charge of that type of work. So if it is you're registering a book or a piece of music, a video, what's that? There's this thing that I'm trying to remember a word right now and it's not coming to me at all.
That's okay. That's okay. The words escape us at right. Some of these times.
Right. So with those things is that you try your best to register it with the body that is in charge of that will be able to enforce those copyright laws and stuff for you, or even track what is going on with your work.
Right.
Yeah. So if it's music, generally people then link up with a PRO. If it's books, I can't remember what that one is right now.
Right.
Because I was looking into that recently. With patents, there's a whole different thing with that too, because patents is a whole different ball game that I don't even want to get into right now. And yeah, so generally, once you make sure and sign up or register your work with the correct body, you tend to be okay.
Right. Okay. And so let's go the other way. Let's go in two different directions. So we're talking, what if somebody wants to use your work and what if you want to use somebody else's work? And Adriel, you would have had some experience with this in the DJing field, so I don't know if you'd be able to give insight. But I'm gonna let Jehiah answer this question first. So what's the process? If somebody come to me and say, well, I want to use the backing track for the podcast or something, was the procedure? How do I protect my stuff if they make it big off of my backing track? You understand what I'm saying? what would you recommend?
That wonderful C word that people don't like. Contracts.
Okay.
Contracts saves lives. Contracts make sure money in your pocket. And along with contracts, you need to make sure you have the type of person that people also don't like. Lawyers. Because once you start mentioning lawyers and contracts, some people see this kind of close up together.
Right.
Kind of back away.
Yeah.
Because they know once you start going down that road, you realize, wait, so I can't pull no smart man thing as well. And then to be versed in understanding the types of contracts it has. Because
like
it is
publishing
on your
and that
owners,
kind of thing. Yeah.
It's on your owners to read contracts
and have your stories handled.
Yeah, because sometimes you can end up in a position where the person who's coming to you comes with a contract already written up, and you need to make sure that you have to read it to make sure it covers yourself properly and it covers them, because sometimes you can end up with a contract, and if you just, well, here's what, once you sign this contract again at $10,000 and you're excited, 10,000, and you barely skim, you didn't really read nothing, you just sign. And you even realize if you probably sign away rights to the song entirely, to the point now 2-3 years down the road,
big hits,
hearing big hits with your music or whatever, and you have nothing to collect but that initial 10,000. And your name is no longer signed onto the track. So even if you want to say, well, yeah, that track is mine, yeah, you're gonna have to real fight that down in court, and that's not a guarantee. So
I remember watching the Clark sisters series. Well, it's a movie, the biopic, and basically what happened is that the oldest or the second oldest sister, she basically had signed away all of their tracks to this record label, and basically missed out on financial opportunities. I'm not sure as to what was the process that they went through to get it back, to regain ownership. But that's just some of the things that happen. People will offer you instant $1 million for something that may or may not be offset 10 years down the road, so you're gonna have to really observe and as Jehiah said, lawyer and contract, and make sure that there's at least for sure that after 5 or 6 years or 10 years, or as long as is yours and you have the claim, that you gain something for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Adri, what has been your experience in using tracks, especially in the DJing scene and the partying scene, and you would have done some preliminary in studio work and thing too. So talk to us about that.
Well, from what I know in Trinidad, right, every DJ is supposed to have a cut license,
right,
to play music, but it's not like that. But every event promoter has to get a cut license to hold the event. It usually covers the DJs that come to play. So that's how they basically get away. And that will cover all the music played for the night. I don't understand how it works exactly, because I'm sure nobody's keeping count of what DJs play, how much time they play
it. Right.
That's how it goes in Trinidad. And something that happened recently, this Denise Belfont song.
Put your back in it.
Yeah. Jehiah actually kind of sampled it with a Meg Thee Stallion song. And everyone went crazy and was saying, Denise have plenty money to get and stuff. But Jehiah had stuff in order and it was okay with Denise. I don't know how it went down.
Right. So it means they probably had some kind of contract. Now I'm not talking for them and explaining their situation, but I'm going on the assumption
Yeah.
that Chimazi say, listen, you are going to give me X, Y, and Z amount of how much ever you make off of this song because this particular line is mine.
Yeah, she used it word for word too. The same rhythm, everything.
Yeah, and they call that the word for that is what?
It's not
Why
interpolation.
are words? Yes, interpolation.
It is
yes.
interpolation, right,
Yeah,
right.
interpolation.
Right.
Because there's even this whole thing with Bruno Mars song. Don't believe me. Just watch whatever the name of that song is. Can't remember.
Yeah.
Yes, that song has so much interpolation in it.
Well, yeah,
That
they sampled
They sampled
Grandmaster Flash, I think. So many people, there's so many different songs on that. But
and
yeah.
even that one line, that "Don't Believe Me, Just Watch" was from this rapper called Trinidad James, who initially made 100,000 off of it, and then for every play he makes, I think it's either somewhere between 2 and 4% of the earnings from the track for 5 words.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, like it's whatever went on with Denise and Shensia. I hope Denise make something nice. I really hope so, because a lot of sampling happens. Some of it me personally, I didn't realize how much of it was going on until recently, because it's like even listening to old soca songs now, and I'm like, wait, but this is the same melody and rhythm of this other song. It's like, oh, so I wonder what their position was.
Yeah.
Because we have the song by Destra. This kind of valentine.
Yeah, we'd be if you all watch the last couple of episodes. Cyndi Lauper. That was a big thing. That was a big thing.
And it had so many other soca songs that they didn't sample this music from a song, they sampled the melody of the lyrics, and those little things there's land some people in court if they don't do what they're supposed to do beforehand.
Right.
Because it's still very weird in some instances, because it's kind of subjective a point, because how could you say that I'm using the words that you use, but then when you check it, if it is I wrote those words in a particular melody, in a particular phrasing, and you come and use the exact same thing, okay, yo, the samples too.
Yeah.
Where my dues? So it happens.
Yeah. So all it means, guys, is that you all need to ensure a couple of things: have your lawyer, a contract, and make sure you actually follow protocol to some extent, at least. I do know, for example, with YouTube, if you do upload a video with original audio of a particular song, some of the copyright holders will permit the claim, and they will just allow you to run ads on the video and take either a percentage or most of the earnings from the ads. That's a fair way to deal with it. But there are other instances where in music where you just, as we said in the episode, you clean slate the song, and you literally put on a whole track on it. And it's like, well, you make your millions and hard luck to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but okay, so Jehiah, question. What can we do? What else can we do? Because we spoke about the lawyer, we spoke about the contract. What are some of the particular ways that we could avoid getting like a copyright strike? I mean, locally in Trinidad, our practices, as Adriel said, the cut license. The cut license really is the fed people.
It's a blanket.
Yeah, it's a blanket license.
So it's like basically, from what I remember on that point, I'll get to your question just now. With the cut thing, from what I remember is that even establishments like have to pay if it's a yearly fee or something like that.
Right.
Where no matter what is played in house, it covers it. So I think that might actually probably go into a pool and then probably just broken up into percentages and distributed.
Right.
However, I
Right.
don't know how that part works, but I know it's a fee that they just pay. Like, okay, we want to play music, and Carter's like, well, there's the amount you had to pay us
Yeah.
per year, whatever, or per month or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With dealing with protecting your music again on the other side of things, because yes, you can do the whole thing with contracts and everything, but the other thing that on the other side, what you also need to do is put in your metadata into whatever you're doing.
ISRC codes.
Is ISRC codes. If it's video you're dealing with, you need to put in your metadata for video. If it's images, you need to put that in as well.
Watermarking might help too.
Watermarking as well. All right. If it is even sometimes some as simple as displaying an image on a website, there are things you can put on a website that will prevent people from saving the image. Well, the normal person. Because there are ways around almost anything.
Yeah.
But metadata is very, very important because that is where you can encode who wrote the song, who performed the song, who produced the song,
right.
The codes to track the music or wherever it's played. Because even when you register songs with, say, BMI, and they give you a code that you can also put into your metadata.
Right.
And if you're using a distributor for your music, or you're distributing whichever way, there's a ISRC code that is embedded into the music. You can do it yourself, or you can have the distributor
do it for you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In cutting CDs, there's also a next set of metadata. I can't remember the name of that particular code right now.
Right.
But there's a next set of metadata that's placed in CDs and stuff. So it's like that of itself is another level of protection.
Right.
In a way that, not to say it protects the music from being ripped from things, but it protects your pocket in a sense.
Okay.
If it is your music reached wherever and playing wherever, you can still be tracked through the metadata, and you can be like, well, here's what this is, my song, because once that data is in there, the name will show up wherever you play it and everything like that.
Right.
On the point of YouTube runs an algorithm.
Yes.
Which I have had some run-ins with.
Even with in like instrumental covers and stuff.
Even with my original music.
So YouTube just trying to swipe some change, but
Yo, it has come to a point where I've realized, I'm not too sure if it is that the music is too well produced, or you produce it so well that it sounds like the original, or I don't know what it is, but I've had run-ins where I had a copyright flag, and I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, but this is not even that song.
So it's not even like you were covering a particular song. You were doing something else, and you get
something completely else. Yeah, YouTube is a weird place, right? Even with some of the stuff that I did for the EP that I released last year. Yeah. The one song that I was stressed about is because I understood, here's what, this is an arrangement of somebody else's music. So I know there's a whole set of little copyright things that I have to dot I's, cross T's, put the little tail on the Q, make sure my B is in a D and all of that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I made sure and contact the people who see about the copyrights rights and everything for that particular band, they got back to me. They told me, well, just put in this set of information when registering the song. Okay, no problem. Did that. Upload the song to YouTube. YouTube is like, yo, somebody claiming, I can't remember. They didn't even claim the start of the song, the end of the song, or some piece in the middle of the song. No, they got the correct song, but I'm like, but that not even song like the version or the claiming it is. So the nice thing with YouTube, you can, go up against the killer and be like, yo, this or they're talking some nonsense here. And YouTube is like, okay, well, we see what you're saying, and if they don't respond in 30 days, everything going back to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So in a way, it's not a lost cause with YouTube in terms of a copyright strike. It just means that you'll have to wait to see how it plays out.
Yeah. And so far with the two that I've had to deal with, the 30 days pass.
Right.
Nothing.
So everything comes back to you.
Yeah, everything came back to me.
Wow, that's good. That is excellent. That is excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
metadata is important.
Yep. And it's funny we speak about metadata. I personally think that it is critical that every artist get some kind of metadata wherever you are in the world. ISRC codes are a good start for it. Most of the common software that we all use to edit videos and audio have some form of inputting the metadata into the tracks. They exist. If not, there are applications and software that you could get for free, like Tag Editor. It gives you all of the options in there. You upload your file, you put in your ISRC code, you put in your this, that, whatever. You bounce it and you put it out there. 99% of the time, even if you pull that file back up from off the net, the information is embedded into the track. So that's a start. The other one is lawyer and contract. And just basic reading. Go online. Everything is quite literally on Google. As long as you can
Read.
not just read, but read and understand and apply the information. I see no issue in terms of people being able to safely maneuver any copyright issue. And I'm sure, like for example with the Destra, it's Carnival. It could have been intentional. It could have been, but there could have been some way that they could have avoided that copyright claim, because that was a big thing. I
have no idea. I actually want to look into that sometime.
Yeah, we should do some research and find out what occurred there. But generally speaking, folks, as we said, lawyer, contract, metadata, reading. Reading is the key.
Reading is the key.
Reading is the key.
Have so many different types of contracts that can come up. Because you can have a work for order contract, which basically means once you're finished your work and you hand that whatever piece of artwork or whatever it is over, it no longer belongs to you. It belongs to the company that you did it for. Alright? Whereas you have other contracts where you more or less lease it out. So from the date of whenever you hand it over to 2 years, 3 years, they're allowed to have exclusive rights to do whatever they want to do with the music,
right?
Or the artwork or whatever. And then after that 3 years pass, then you could put it back to wherever you want to do it with.
Right.
Sometimes it might be as short as 30 days. Right? So yeah, reading those contracts and then having somebody else read it because you might miss something, because that happened to me 2 years ago, I think. I got a contract. I read it when I was sleepy. And I was like, something not right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I seen errors and I was like, yo, something not right here, but I'm way too sleepy right now to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
Message one of my friends who's a lawyer and like, yo, I just got a contract, just read this over for me. She said, I know, see, email it to me. Okay.
Yeah.
An hour later, she's like, yo, don't sign that, eh? I was like, you read it already? She's like, yeah, I hold me a shell in peace, but this thing so written, though, I didn't even need to focus.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, okay.
So having someone else also look it
Yeah.
over is critical. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
And even
why...
asking a question too, so find somebody who more experienced than you in the business. That's
Yeah.
usually a good start, because sometimes, for example, I did an arrangement of I Love by Nyla Blackman, and for those who don't know, Anson Pro is a family member, so I went to him and I said, well, I did this arrangement and we want to put it out on YouTube. What is the, what was the legal ramifications I had to go through? Is it that I could say that this is my arrangement, or is it that I have to, and I asked him, did the permissions, whatever. And basically the arrangement is mine. So, because it's not the original track. If it was that I did a cover of the entire song and the structure remain the same, the melodic line remain the same, then they will have some rights to the song. But
Yeah, it's seen as a derivative work, and that is something that I actually had to look into as well last year.
yeah.
I had a lot of learning opportunities last year.
Yeah.
Where with the same track from Omo, I was trying to figure out, okay, how do I go about this? And I was
Right,
like, and I remembered, wait, there's a movie I watched and there were two versions of the same song. They got to find, because internet is a wonderful place. If you need to find information on a song, like the metadata that or whatever, or if the song is registered, you can find that information. I cannot remember the website right now. I will probably send it to you when this is finished.
Yeah.
All right. And so in the movie, you hear Thom Yorke singing the song.
Yeah.
Right? Later on in the movie, there's a scene where you have Wynton I always messing up the pronunciation of this man's last name. Wynton Marsalis, or whatever, jazz trumpeter guy from Lincoln Center, playing the same song, but now it's a mellow jazz 1950s vibe kind of thing.
Right.
So both versions are registered, but on the version that Wynton played, there's still creditation going towards Thom Yorke, even though it's an arrangement.
Right. So Adriel, if Adriel come and do an arrangement of, call a song, a dancehall tune. I know, dog. You use the man he's the dancehall representative in the building. Any song.
Popcorn.
Right. So you take a popcorn song and you do an arrangement of it, or you do different arrangements of it. Basically speaking, you will get what, like, recognition for the arrangements of those popcorn songs. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Something interesting I saw though
Mm-hmm.
with copyright is one of these big basketballers, if it was LeBron James or someone, a photographer took a photo of him in an event and he posted it to his Instagram, and the photographer actually filed a lawsuit against him for using a picture of himself. I don't know how, I'm not sure how the lawsuit ended up,
Right.
but that's something.
It was a
happened.
professional photo. Right.
And another thing is this singer who overdosed in a bathroom, Whitney Houston. Kanye West actually paid like $74,000 for one of the first photographers that went in and took a picture of the bathroom itself with the drug paraphernalia there and blood in the sink and all that, and used it for an album cover. So yeah, that's crazy Kanye for you.
Wow.
So that's also something interesting about copyright.
Copyright, right. So, well, yeah, Woe is right. Woe is right because it just means it just goes to show you could go to great lengths to get, content. The man went and take a picture, and this next one is take a picture of LeBron James, and so all you make sure you have all your I's dotted, your P's looking like P's and not D's and B's, and all of those things. As Jehiah said, reading is key. Reading an application is key because you could say you read the contract but you don't know what any of the things mean in it. Have a lawyer. I would suggest. I mean, a regular lawyer could work, but I'm guessing a media lawyer.
Or intellectual property, something along those lines.
Yeah. Have somebody in that field who's able to understand and explain to you the information. It's gonna cost, but it's going to protect you in the long run. And yeah, make sure you do your own individual reading, find out what kind of contracts there are, so that at least you would know how to have a conversation with the people you're interacting with, both with your lawyer and the people who you'd want to use their material. So Jehiah, plug your socials, tell people where you can find it. Yeah. Oh, you have some information for me?
Just remember it's the
ASCAP go ahead.
repertory.
Oh.
Yeah, ASCAP repertory. So once you go on that part of ASCAP's website, if you know you have music out there and you search your name, all the information of the song that has been registered shows up. If you search name of a song, you can see all the various versions of that same song or other songs of that same name shows up.
Right.
So you can, so if it is, I do an arrangement, but I know somebody else do an arrangement before the same song, you actually go and check their version to see how they registered it, and so you know what information you have to put in when you register in yours.
Right. Okay.
So that's how the version of there took a while to register because they had to reach out to another PRO thing
to make sure all the correct stuff was right.
And it's now on Spotify.
Right.
But that's me plugging myself here. So you can find my jazz EP, first EP that ever released, called Omo on Spotify. You can just search my name, Jehiah Hope. You can also find me on YouTube. If you need music for advertisements or video games or videos or whatever, you can check me out on Pond 5 on the Jazz Productions. That's JAHZ Productions, or you can also search my name there. I think it should come up because I remember changing something on it recently.
Right.
Instagram just _Jehiah. Yeah, I think that's it. Don't really check from on Facebook. Facebook is just for me to look at memes and share nonsense.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope we all learned something today. Not just in music, as Adriel pointed out, some critical things too, photos, videos. You have to understand the basics of copyright and understand how to maneuver within the business. All right. That's it. Like, share, comment, subscribe. All of the information, as usual, will be on the website www.forthemostpartpodcast.com. And that's it. We will see you all, and we will hear you all on the next one.
Peace, guys.
Peace.
It is
a whole peace sign. Thank you, Jehiah.
No problem.